Are you constantly feeling worried? Are you a hypercritical person, always judging every situation, trying to find the things that haven't been going so well, no matter if it is a work project or a vacation or an interaction with a client or with a stakeholder? Well, then today's video is absolutely for you, because I want to talk with you about why is it so powerful to practice gratitude. And I want to tell you a personal story about how my grandma of 85 years started journaling, why she started journaling, what it has brought to her life, and if she is journaling still today. So let's get started. Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Julia Arndt, and I'm a peak performance coach and stress management trainer. And today I want to speak with you about how to practice gratitude, why practicing gratitude is so important, and why when you're practicing gratitude you can create more joy and more happiness in your life. It's a real thing. But before we jump in, if you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers in order to monetize my videos. And and of course I would also love to see you here on a more regular basis, so you can learn all the different tools and tips and tricks in order to manage your stress and live a fulfilled life. And if you want to help me even a little bit more, make sure that you hit also the notification bell that is next to the subscribe button, because that means that you're receiving notifications every time I am posting new content, which is every Monday and every Friday. And if you would give me a thumbs up, I would know that you are enjoying these videos, and maybe you even leave me a comment at the end as well, in order to let me know if you found this helpful, what kind of questions you have for me, so I can help you and I can create more content around the topics that are really of interest to you. So with that said, I want to talk with you today about practicing gratitude, and I want to start with a personal story, because you might have been really curious to watch this video because you saw that my grandma started journaling. And so with that said, I want to start with a personal story to kick off today's video, because my grandma, that is today 86 years old, almost 87, but she started journaling at 85, indeed started journaling in November 2018, because I encouraged her to sit down on a daily basis in order to practice gratitude. Why did I ask her to do that? Well, my grandma is 86 years old, and at the time in November 2018, she was just about to undergo back surgery, spinal surgery. She was pretty worried, she was afraid and nervous. She had a lot of pain, of course, in her body, and it was not the first time that she had to undergo such a surgery. So at the time, I was back in Germany, and today I live in California, but back then I was actually visiting at the time in Germany, and I was spending a lot of time with her. You have to know that I have a really close and very intimate relationship with my grandma. I love her. I spent a lot of time with her growing up, and she's really close and dear to my heart, and it was really, really sad for me to see her, of course, in that state, in a pain state, in a worried state. And she was also really worried about her life. Like, she was saying things like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to see you again. She was kind of wishing her farewells, and that was really hard for me, of course, as her grandchild. And I was wondering, how can I really help her to be a little bit more positive and to see the positive things in life? Because what you also have to know about my grandma is that she obviously grew up in the 30s and 40s during the Second World War, and she was actually exiled in 1945 with her family because of the World War. And so she had a lot of negative experiences in her life, and I think maybe also especially because of that, she was always very critical and very worried about just everything that was going on in life. Anyway, so I bought her a little journal in November 2018, and I said to her, Grandma, I want you to start being a little bit more positive and not just always think about all of the things that are happening in your life that you're unhappy with and that feel hard. I want you to start thinking about the positive things in your life. I want you to practice gratitude. I want you to write down for me every day 3 things that you feel grateful for. And, you know, she underwent her surgery. She took her little journal to the hospital. And in December 2018, when she was back from hospital, she fortunately had a very successful surgery. She told me, you know, the little journal that you gave me is almost full, and I would like to continue about journaling and writing down 3 things every day that I feel grateful for. And I was amazed because my grandma is, of course, at the end of the day, 85, 86 years old. And I wouldn't have really thought that that would bring so much power to her mindset, but it did. So I sent her a new journal, and she has been journaling every day since. So now it's April 2020 and she is still journaling. So she has created this new habit in her life to think about the things that she feels grateful for. So now I want to tell you, why is it so powerful to journal, and why are we all talking about practicing gratitude, right? There's a lot of people that are talking about the power of it. Maybe you have never tried it in your life. Maybe you have tried it in your life, but you found it a little bit silly or weird. So let me tell you, why is it important to practice gratitude? When we are talking about practicing gratitude and the power of gratitude, we have to understand a little bit more the stress response and what is happening in our bodies when we are living our lives, right? Our nervous systems are constantly scanning the environments for threat. This is something that we have learned in prehistoric times in order to protect ourselves, of course, of any danger and of any kind of demand. And we are still doing that. Our nervous systems are still doing that. So in general, I would also say that we are pretty critical human beings, right? Every time something is happening in our lives, we usually don't tend to look at the things that are positive and good. We usually tend to look at the things that are negative and that we are not so happy with. And I realized this, especially when I left Germany. I must say, I feel like maybe it's just my family or maybe just the German culture in general, but I feel like we are pretty critical people. So when I would, for example, talk to my mom on the phone about her current vacation, she would tell me, we've had a really nice time, the apartment was nice, the weather was nice, but, and then she would list 20 different things that weren't so great about her vacation, which kind of makes the whole vacation seem not so great. And so this is just to show you, we are constantly looking for these different things, and we are constantly judging and criticizing our environment and our situation. And I want to encourage you to test out practicing gratitude in order to shift your awareness, because I'm sure you have heard of the quote, "Energy flows where attention goes." And that is basically the most important sentence that you should remember when you think about why is it important to practice gratitude. You are bringing attention and energy to the positive things in your life instead of always worrying, instead of always criticizing and judging a situation. You're looking at the positive side of things. So that is why practicing gratitude has become so important, because unfortunately our society has learned to be super hypercritical and judgmental about everything, but that has made us, I would almost say, less joyful and more unhappy people. So I highly encourage you to test it out for yourself and to start maybe buying a little journal and just writing down every day 2 to 3 things that you feel grateful for. I have incorporated my gratitude practice into my morning routine. So if you want to learn more about my morning routine, there's a video that I'm going to link here in the video, so you can check that out as well. But I started to practice gratitude in October 2018 because I was experiencing a burnout. I was on a medical leave from work because I had suffered from burnout, anxiety and depression, and I was really clear that I wanted to make some tremendous changes in my life in order to feel better. There's, by the way, a podcast episode about my own burnout story as well, so make sure to check that out as well. So I started journaling and I started to practice gratitude every day. I tried to find something every day that was different from the day before, that made me happy and that brought me joy. And what is also really powerful about practicing gratitude is that it will help us achieve your goals. Because when you're starting to pay attention to the things that are already happening in your life, instead of thinking about all of the things that haven't happened yet, you're bringing attention to the positive side of things, and you of course feel better about yourself instead of getting into these negative thought patterns and cycles that are not helpful for you. Another reason why practicing gratitude is so powerful is because it helps you to go from your sympathetic state or your sympathetic nervous system, which is your stress state, to the parasympathetic nervous system. Because super simple, if you are thinking about something that made you happy today, if you think about something that brought you joy, you will of course immediately relax. You will breathe deeper, you will feel more joy, you feel more happiness. So it even has a physical effect as well when you are practicing gratitude on a regular basis. And honestly, it has really helped me to shift my mindset to always thinking negative things to really thinking more positive things. So if I'm finding myself today in a difficult situation and I'm frustrated or angry or sad or whatever feeling is coming up for me, now my brain has learned to immediately switch to the other question, which is, what is something positive that happened today? What can I learn from this challenge? What can I learn from this problem? Where is an opportunity to grow? And so immediately now my head switches to this more positive thinking, which is super, super powerful and something that of course I had to learn over a couple of months and even years now. But you have to start somewhere, and I really encourage you to test it out for yourself, to see for yourself how much power practicing gratitude can bring into your life. It had brought a lot of joy to myself. It has brought even more joy to my grandma, and with that even more joy to myself, because my grandma is talking about how powerful it is to practice gratitude on a daily basis, and it makes me, of course, as her grandchild, super, super happy. And I really hope that you will test it out and you will enjoy it too. So let's actually start and dive right into practicing gratitude today. And I want you to leave a comment down below today and tell me about 3 things that you feel grateful for today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure that you give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel to help me hit 1000 subscribers, and I hopefully see you next week as well.